My name is Thierry Sanchez and I'm one of the co-owners of Heroic Sport. I'm in charge of the educational aspects and therefore I run workshops, and I'm in charge of all the videos that we have on the website. In 2008, I took an education with the Danish Sports Confederation as a physical trainer. I got involved with kettlebells because I thought it was quite interesting, so I competed myself, even won a gold medal. Created the Danish Kettlebell Sport Organization and also another international organization. Arranged competitions here in Denmark, and in 2016 we even organized a world championship here in Sønderborg. Right after I finished my education as a physical trainer, I got a job looking after some badminton athletes. And we used kettlebells, barbells, and also clubs made of metal. So all the basic stuff that I knew, I started implementing with those badminton athletes because I thought it would be really relevant for them. And of course we did see improvement. So from there my interest in using and learning how to use the clubs grew, and also how can I teach this to more people. The more I trained, it wasn't just about the muscles or this or that or the movement itself, but it was really like a whole kind of whole body and mind therapy almost. So you could train in the way you felt. If you wanted to train hard, you could. If you wanted to take it easy, you could do that as well. If you want to work on balance, you could. So it just opened up a whole kind of world compared to the stuff I knew about strength training. So swinging clubs really helped my kettlebell technique because it made me more mobile and be able to be in better positions to align my body to lift the weights and stuff like that. I also read a lot about the clubs and how they were good for different types of conditions.
My name is Ronald Bader, but everybody calls me Ron. I am the founder and one of the owners of Heroic Sport, and I am the inventor of the Pahlavandle. November 2009, otherwise known as Black Monday for those who know me, I fell down from scaffolding and it was pretty bad. Broke my back, multiple skull fractures, did the coma thing and then the medical coma afterwards to give me a chance to rest. It was pretty dramatic. I went from a super active lifestyle, sport, hard work, to basically nothing. And the results of that experience were both dramatic, but it ended up with I couldn't sleep, and it just wasn't the routine that I was used to. Shortly after I came out of the hospital and was at home starting to recuperate, there was, of course, many meetings with the doctors and the specialists, and they were really good at telling me the truth, the reality about falling down and breaking your back in different places and having multiple skull fractures. They were good at answering all my questions, but they told me what I was more than likely going to experience, that with a hit on the head, you can experience different things like memory loss, short-term memory problems. My physical state would probably be at a lower level than what I was used to, even though I started to train. Already after 12 months, I needed to get out of the house more often. I started walking and biking. I was trying to listen to the doctors and the physiotherapists. It was great getting out of the house. It was great to start getting active, but it wasn't doing anything for the pain and discomfort I was experiencing in my shoulders and back and neck, which is why I guess I'm so thankful that Terry walked into my office that day.
So I was already running a lot of kettlebell workshops, and I started thinking, okay, I should also teach about Indian club swinging. But getting the gear was a real challenge. So I ordered some wooden clubs from the internet, to run the workshops, but I wasn't really satisfied with the aesthetics and the swing. I got to hear about this guy that, here in Sønderborg that could make anything with his hands, and I went to see him. He was very friendly and open, and he said, "Of course, I can do this. And we'll make it to the specifications that you want." So we made this prototype of clubs, and I thought, "Wow, okay, this is good. We have something to go on there." And I said, "Can we make a few more?" And of course he did, and Ron eventually told me about the injuries that he sustained. He was in pain, couldn't sleep, and I said, "Okay, you should consider training with me. I'll show you how to swing the clubs, and we'll see what they can do for you, because I've heard a lot of stuff about the clubs helping restitution, but also helping with certain specific conditions." And what Ron was missing was strength, mobility, and moving in range of motion that he had lost.
The timing was perfect. Terry came into my office to talk to me about making these clubs. He had heard that I could make different things, which I said there would be no problem. He showed me one of these clubs. The first thing I thought was, it's a bowling pin.
And then he asked me, what are they for? What kind of game is that? I said, "Oh, it's not a game." But it is, And from there, Ron explained about his injuries, that he fell down, and all the stuff that happened to him. And I said, "You should come and train with me a bit and see how it goes."
But then Terry explained to me what Indian clubs was all about, the benefits of the training. And as soon as it sunk in, I was sold. I think it was the next day I started to make these clubs by hand. After I made a few Indian clubs and Terry gave me some instruction, I started using them.
And I'm really glad he did, because he came, and of course it was painful at first, but he stuck to it, and eventually started getting results in a relatively short amount of time. And he was hopeless at the start.
I noticed a difference in the first 20 minutes of the training. It was a type of freedom. I was starting to swing my arms and feeling that sense of opening up and be able to breathe again. It was something that really changed my life. I went from not getting any sleep, pain in my shoulders the whole night long, to periods of an hour, and then an hour became 2 hours, and then sleeping halfway through the night. It was then when I was convinced that there's got to be more than just me that could get something out of this type of training. Terry has been incredible in gathering information that explains all my questions about why is this so good, and what is it doing in my head, and cross-cognitive training, right-left brain communication. How can I move around with these clubs to strengthen my back, to strengthen my hips, relieve the pain and tension in my neck and shoulders. It's really been a great journey discovering Indian clubs. One of the reasons why Heroic Sport exists today is, one, I feel responsible to get the message about this training technique out there to other people that I really feel could get a great deal out of it. One of the things we experience by developing the clubs ourselves, or developing replicas of the original clubs ourselves, was that they were time intensive, which made them a little bit expensive for anybody to try. They were difficult to ship because they weigh anywhere from 700 grams to 3, 4, 5 kilos per piece. So I went back to the drawing board and thought, how can I develop something that can give everybody a chance to try the sport? Whether you were young, whether you were old, whether you were hurt, whether you were physically fit, just an easy way to get this sport out there, to get people aware that there's another training technique out there that has been hidden for thousands of years. Going back to the drawing board was a good thing, because all of a sudden it was very clear to what we had to do. It's as easy as this. It's a Pahlavandle. Pahlavani, heroic in the Persian language. Handle, heroic handle. Pahlavandle. It's a handle. What you do with this handle is even simpler. You take a pop bottle. You fill it with water or whatever element that you think would be a comfortable weight for you to start with. You screw the handle on the top, tighten it down. You take your cap, put it in the little parking place, if you want to call it. There you have it. You have your first Indian club. If it's too heavy, let some of the water out. If it's not heavy enough, change to another element, sand, concrete. If that's not heavy enough, and you start to get a little more experienced in how to swing the clubs, get another bottle. This is a liter bottle. Already filled with water, it weighs a kilo, 2.2 pounds. The weight coefficient of things like sand, fine sand, and concrete are ×2. So in theory, this bottle filled with concrete or fine sand would weigh 2 kilos. So there you have a 2-kilo club, or any weight in between, judging by the amount of material you put on it. Just when you think it couldn't get any better, one of the first things my wife says to me is, Ron, I can travel with these. I can take them off the bottles, put them directly into my hand baggage, get to the place where we need to be, get a hold of some carbonated water, and begin training. It opens up the opportunity to take your training equipment with you anywhere. The beach, the hotel, vacation, it just doesn't matter. It's this you need to take with you. You get this when you get there.
So when Ron came to me and showed me his prototype and explained the idea behind it, I thought, wow, this is a genius idea, because we can teach this to so many different types of people. And we know that in society we're just sitting too much, we're losing the ability to move well, our kids are getting clumsier. And if we can sort of like get this across to as many people as we can, well, I'm going to feel like I've done something good. It's non-threatening, it works with most people. The aspect of swinging clubs is not just a physical aspect, but you're going to improve your coordination, your concentration skills. So overall, it's a perfect tool to combine the physical and the mental aspect of training that's often lacking in today's fitness culture.
At Heroic Sport, we feel responsible that your training techniques are correct. We've developed a whole video platform with video examples from start to finish, from the easy movements to the more complex movements. It's everything that you'll need in learning how to do this sport and doing it in the correct way. We've covered all the aspects that will make your training experience a good experience. I just want to say that Heroic Sport has done amazing things for me, and I hope it does the same for you.